one sad trombone for every time the Heat lost this series. Oh, y'all thought I wasn't gonna make this video? Y'all thought I wasn't gonna make this video? You played yourself. I don't know. Is there even much to talk about? Is there even much? Listen, I was there last night in Boston on Causeway Street, man. I ain't gonna lie, the energy really wasn't there. I'm gonna keep it a stack. It was almost like it was predetermined what the fuck was gonna happen in that game. I'm gonna just keep it a stack. As much as I really want to go crazy right now, the pack definitely doesn't hit the same when the other team is not healthy. I'll give y'all that, man. I'll give y'all that. Okay. I said it going into the series. I really wanted y'all healthy. Nah, for real. I understand the outcome of the series is the outcome of the series. And we'll get into the outcome of the series here in a second. But I'm going to keep it a stack. I wanted y'all healthy. I didn't want to hear the excuses once we beat y'all out. You know what I'm saying? Because going into the series, I had the Celtics winning in 5 games. I'm going to keep it a stack. I think even with Jimmy Butler there, with everyone healthy, we still beat y'all in 5 games. I'm going to keep it a stack. It's just, you know, when the other team is not healthy, when there's injuries on the other side of things, this is exactly why I wanted y'all healthy, because I didn't want to hear the excuses. If the Celtics beat y'all, I wanted it to be fair and square. The biggest thing I hate about injuries is that it only, in terms of the narrative, it only ever favors the injured team. Like, there's just no reality where the team that won still wins without the other team being injured. I said it with the 2017 Warriors going up against the Spurs. I said it with the 2018 Warriors going up against the Rockets. I know that's controversial, but I truly feel that even if Chris Paul was there, those Warriors teams still would have beat ass. And if y'all don't want to hear from me, hear it from your coach. I don't know what to tell you.
We're not going to put this on the fact that we've had some injuries. Let's not take anything away from Boston. They've been the best team in basketball all season long, and in this series, in 4 of the games, they played as such. That had nothing to do with the injuries. Had nothing to do with guys that are available or not available. They played very good basketball, and they probably had something, to motivate them even more against us. But they played at a high level, and they will probably, I will not watch 1 minute of their games, but they'll probably do this, to several teams, from here on out. They've got a very good team. They know what they're doing, and they deserve this one.
I'm just saying that injury card is weak, dog. That injury card is weak. You play who's in front of you, all right? When the Heat went to the finals last season and beat the Bucks with Giannis not playing like the first 2 games, when they beat the Celtics after Jason Tatum rolled his ankle in Game 7, I gave y'all the credit, okay? It's just injuries is a part of the game. It's a part of the league. For worse, definitely. It's not really for better, but it's just you play who's in front of you. And I just know what the pack would have been if it was the other way around. Am I proud that the Celtics beat this injured Miami Heat team? I mean, why wouldn't I be? My team moved on to the next round. They took care of business. What am I supposed to do? Not be proud? Be upset? Like, what do you want me to do? Heat fans were talking crazy going into the series, knowing that Jimmy Butler was about to be out. Jimmy Butler was talking crazy in the series, knowing he was gonna be out. Specifically Game 3. He got interviewed during the game talking about, we gonna be up 2-1 after this game. Y'all lost in blowout fashion. To be honest with you. After Game 2, with Jimmy Butler already out, Heat fans were talking crazy. We don't even need Jimmy. Heat in 6. So y'all not, nah. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. The Celtics-Heat rivalry specifically has hit levels where as long as we don't lose to y'all and y'all don't lose to us, let's keep it a beat, let's keep it a stack. That's a big part of our season. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Between us, like, who made it further? Who had the more successful season? It really is that much of a rivalry now in the NBA because of how much these teams have played. I think the series went exactly the way I thought it was going to be honest with you. I either thought it was going to be a sweep or a 5-game series where that one game was just going to piss me off because I know it wasn't going to come in game 4. It was going to come in the first 3 games. We'll either lose the first one and all hell breaks loose. We'll either lose game 2 and it's tied 1-1, or we either lose game 3 and now we go into game 4 with the Heat going to tie it up. The Heat going to tie it up. It was bound to happen in the first 3 games. It was surprisingly unsurprising. Or maybe the other way around. Unsurprisingly surprising the way we lost in game 2, y'all. Record-breaking 3-point record. Caleb Martin doing Caleb Martin things. Tyler Hero being a Chris Paul playmaker for a game. It was just Bam Adebayo turning into Kevin Garnett, prime Kevin Garnett for a game. It was insane. Shout out to the Heat, though. On the real, though, I think we do need to have a conversation about the Miami Heat. And this is not, I'm past the hating shit now. I do think there are concerns when it comes to this organization. And we need to be real about what this team has done ever since the Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo era. Yes, I will give y'all credit, all the credit, to the fact that y'all made it to the finals twice. That is a big feat, specifically in this era with so much parity. Y'all are the only ones to be back there more than once. So shout out to Miami for making it to the finals in 2023 and in the bubble. It also made it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2022. I'm not gonna take that away from y'all. I will say I think we need to put into context exactly how successful this team has been since the bubble. Y'all like to pull it with the Celtics. Now I'm gonna pull it with y'all as well. Y'all have been championship contenders, but haven't gotten the job done in 4 years. I don't 4 or 5 years. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. 5 years. I'm sorry, especially for the Miami Heat who have championship standards. I didn't think we were hanging on to finals appearances as just the marker of our team's success. Miami, y'all are better than that. Y'all hang banners. I think y'all are in the upper echelon of NBA franchises in league history now, to the point where, bro, we don't play for finals appearances. We play for banners. And I think the reality of the situation is, in this Jimmy Butler era, while again 3 conference finals appearances and 2 finals appearances, 2 of the finals appearances was Cinderella runs. I'm gonna keep it a stack. They were Cinderella runs. No one expected y'all to make it to the finals in 2020. No one expected y'all to beat the Lakers going into those finals. I'm fixing my threads right now, my bad. And obviously last season was arguably the biggest Cinderella run ever. Being an 8 seed, coming back from losing the first play-in game, going all the way to the finals. Everyone had Denver winning that series. So my thing is, there's a difference between going to the finals and losing twice and going to the finals without even really any expectations of y'all winning the series. And I think that's a problem, to be honest with you. If I'm a Miami Heat fan, being a Cinderella run, bracket buster ass team every single year, yeah, it's fun to get the upsets off when the upsets happen. And yeah, history speaks for itself. Y'all do pull that off more than other teams, historically speaking. But like, God, can y'all, I'm speaking as a Miami Heat fan, can we just go into the playoffs with like championship expectations? We're one of the top dogs in our conference. Everyone views us as a well-rounded team. And we go out there and we're expected to win championships and, if anything, actually win championships. I mean, the only year that happened in the Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo era was 2022, and for the lead. just saying you can only take so much pride in, oh my God, we made it to the finals, W season. You know, especially as a Heat fan, because I truly think as an organization, y'all deserve better. Y'all should have higher standards than just making it to the dance. And while I will say this, I feel like I personally told every single team that's been eliminated so far to blow it up in some sort of fashion. I do think the Miami Heat, despite having Jimmy Butler, who's 34-35. Despite Jimmy Butler being their best player, and in my opinion, with this core specifically, them already capping off, I do still think they have some assets to move around in order to be more competitive in this Jimmy Butler-Bam era. I still think Jimmy Butler can be good for the next 2, maybe 3 years. First option, I'm going to carry y'all to the finals type of levels. No. But I do expect Bam to be better in these next couple of years. And there are a couple of stars that, in my opinion, are going to be on the trade market that I think the Miami Heat should look out for. A Donovan Mitchell, a Kevin Durant, a Joel Embiid. Damian Lillard might be back on the market. And if you're one of those teams, the Miami Heat do have a Tyler Hero. They do have a Jaime Jaquez Jr. They do have a Nikola Jovic. They got some young pieces to throw at these teams if they really wanted to. Because despite me saying that depth matters, I do think with this team specifically, at the top level, I think that the star power moving forward just won't be enough. And also with Eric Spoelstra being y'all head coach and Pat Riley running things there, I truly don't have a problem, and I'm not too concerned with y'all finding diamonds in the rough, because y'all manage to do it every single year. I want to shout out Jaime Jaquez Jr., 22-year-old rookie, coming out of college, just NBA ready. Throughout the whole season, he's been solid. And in these playoffs, with Jimmy Butler being down, I understand the efficiency doesn't do him justice, but boy, when they needed a bucket, when they needed a shot creator, outside of Tyler Hero, in my opinion, Jaime Jaquez Jr. has been their most consistent shot creator. From the perimeter, I think Bam also is in that discussion as well. Tyler Hero, oh my God, I mean, Udonis Haslem apparently gave you a motivational speech, and for the whole series, hey, you had your game too, but for the whole series, it wasn't there. You were going up against a really good defense, though, so I'm not going to go at you too hard. I'm not going to go at this Miami team too hard. I'm going to keep it a stack. Going over to my Celtics, outside of Game 2, hey, man, this is how a championship caliber team plays. We played against our boogeyman in the first round, and after Game 2, I personally felt as if there was a sense of too much respect for the Miami Heat. Hey, man, we played like the better team. We played like the more dominant, the more talented team for the rest of the series, and we took care of business. Blowout after blowout. 20-point win in Game 1, 20-point win in Game 3, 14-point win in Game 4, and 16 plus 18, that's 34? 34-point win in Game 5. That is how the number 1 seed, that is how the 64-win Celtics should play against a depleted Miami Heat team. We played how we should have. So, shout out to the Celtics. As far as more specific player reviews, Jaylen Brown, man, I ain't gonna lie, that lefty looking good this year, man. That lefty, he took the criticism and he addressed the problems. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. Derek White. I ain't gonna lie, I think he's the biggest reason as to why this series was so lopsided, dog. How Derek White dominated these games in stretches and for just the majority of games. 22 points on 58% shooting from the field. 48% from 3, while leading the team in attempts by a pretty wide margin. And 90% from the line. These are crazy numbers. What is that true shooting percentage? 74%. Derek White was on it this series. I think he was the separator. With Kristaps Porzingis being injured and honestly not having a good series himself, I thought that Kristaps Porzingis was going to be more impactful in this series, but he just didn't end up being that. If anything, he underperformed like crazy. It was, in my opinion, and honestly, Drew Holiday didn't have a good series too. 35% from the field, 5 and 4. These aren't the Drew Holiday numbers I was expecting. I think the guys that are most responsible for this playoff series win is Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Sam Hauser shooting 48% from the bench, and Al Horford. The great Al Horford stepping up once again in the playoffs. Now, to address the Jason Tatum performance, I do think he could have played better. shooting 42, 29, and also missing a lot of free throws. I know he shot 80%, that should be at 85, 87. From a scoring perspective, he definitely did not play up to par. Jason Tatum, you are about to play super max dollars to be an elite scorer. I understand Miami's defense really was good on you, specifically this series. But, bro, we got to find better and more efficient ways to score. I will say this, though. I do think in the grand scheme of things, it is a good sign that in a series where Jason Tatum did not have a good scoring series, the other guys prove that they can step up. That there's enough personnel on this team to weather, I don't even know which word is the right one, to weather Jason Tatum stinkers. A Jaylen Brown, a Derek White stepping up. Possibly a Kristaps Porzingis stepping up when he comes back. A Drew Holiday having the ability to step up. And even outside of that, like I just mentioned, a Sam Hauser, a Peyton Pritchard stepping up. You know, these things matter. These things matter. I think the Celtics are aware of the Jason Tatum stinkers. Until Jason Tatum can address them themselves, as an organization, we got to address this team with that in mind. And I do think that is a positive sign. With Jason Tatum specifically, I also think it's a positive sign that he is affecting the game in other ways outside of just scoring. In this series, he averaged 10 rebounds a game. Depending on how you value offensive rebounds, there's a lot of motherfuckers that got offensive rebounds in the series, and despite Jason Tatum averaging 10, he only had 1 offensive rebound this series. Him averaging 10 rebounds, regardless, still shows me that you can affect the game outside of just scoring. Him leading the team in assists, and just by watching the game, making the right reads a lot of times, making the right pass, making the right hockey pass. These things matter. Jason Tatum's just quicker with the decisions, and I like to see them out of him. Also, not that many turnovers. Turnovers was a really big problem for him in 2022. In this series, he was able to give you 5.4 assists with 9 turnovers in 5 games. 9 turnovers in 5 games is probably a turnover and a half every single game, which is not a lot. 1.8 turnovers to 5.4 assists. That's a good ratio right there. That's a good ratio right there. And again, assists, it's a flawed stat, but if you just watch the games, Jason Tatum's passing was good in my opinion. I am still concerned about how stagnant this offense gets. I am still concerned about this team living and dying by the 3, but I will say this, with the personnel that we have, with the amount of perimeter threats, shot creators that we have, with the amount of shooters that we have, I do think if there is one team that's going to be able to get away with a playing style like this, it is the Boston Celtics, because from 1 through 8, literally everyone can shoot. Literally everyone is or either has had like 40% shooting from 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So that's a really good sign. And again, outside of Sam Hauser and Al Horford, everyone can create their own shot off the dribble. You know what I'm saying? And even Al Horford, you can give it to him in the post, and he can make something work here and there. Sam Hauser is just terrific off ball as well. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I really wish I could have smoked the pack a little bit harder, but again, I'm not going to lie to myself and act like, you know, injuries weren't a part of it and the pack wouldn't have been better if injuries weren't involved. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Celtics. Go C's, and I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.